Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our distinguished alumni honoree, Anthony Bush.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Okay, there you go. It's like church, ain't it? It's like, and God said, no, I'm joking. So I'm happy to be here tonight to share my story with you guys and really give you my Bill story and the transition of my life. Like a lot of you guys, you know, I've worked with or you've seen me and nobody really knows who I am. So I'm gonna tell you guys today. In the beginning, it was only about survival. For me, my sister, and my mom. The odds were against kids like me. In my family, gangs were religion. My father was a high-ranking leader in gangs. When I was 11, he gave me a choice. He made it real simple. He told me, either be eaten or kill or be killed. I decided then that I would strike first. No one would mess with me or my sisters. I got into a fight at school. I got into fights at churches. I got into fights anywhere. Word traveled fast and soon. Everyone knew what I was willing to do to get what I needed to get done. I never really needed a gun in my community because everybody knew I was really violent. I'm gonna tell you guys a story. My sister, when I was 12 years old, I got 4 sisters. A guy pushed my sister down a flight of stairs. And I went to the guy's house and I beat everybody in the house. In that same breath, I got in trouble. I started getting into trouble with the law, trouble with judges. I'm from North Lawndale. That same week, my mom lost her job, and I became the man of the house. I had to support a family of 5 at 13 years old. So to support my family, I gambled. That was my thing. I was always good with numbers. I could calculate numbers really fast in my mind. So on the street, I earned a lot of money. I did a lot of things I shouldn't have done. But I did it only to survive and to bring money into a household where I was the only source of income. Life was hard, and deep down inside, I knew I was going down a dangerous path. Years later, I ended up going to high school. I got into high school. The high school that I went to was Manly Career Academy. When I walked into the room, my freshman, this is orientation. This is the first day of school. In the auditorium, they had about 200 kids. They made all of 195 leave out, and there was 5 kids left. It was the FBI, it was the local police, and everybody was in there. Growing up, I had pretty good grades. I probably had, average grades. Never had any priors, never got in trouble. And they told me I was on this red line list, and I was number 2. And on this list, I wasn't going to see the age of 18. They didn't think I was going to see 2 weeks. Being a part of that list, it made me really look at life differently. I really started to see things differently at 13 years old. I had to really take in and figure out what I wanted to do with my life. During that process, I was mandated to go to Bill. First 2 weeks, as you see my mentor, Chris, he's 6'4". At the time, I was 5'7". I had a little man complex. So, me and him, we bumped heads pretty often, and I never really seen a positive male role model in my life. I never really seen a collective of people that truly cared about me that didn't even know my name, and I never was nice to them because everybody was against me because of all the peer pressures and all the pressures of the world that was on my shoulders just being a black boy from West Side. 2 weeks go past, and I was caught in another situation fighting. Hit a guy in the face, and I knew at this point my life was going to end. And I called everybody I could except for one person. When I finally called that person, Chris, at 3:30 in the morning, Chris came and picked me up and saved my life. And at that point, I knew I had to make different decisions. I started looking around my community, but I really wanted to know the deeper issues because I knew I was a part of the problem, and the only way for me to correct this is to correct issues in my community in which I felt like I started. So what I did was I started really looking into policy issues. I joined Bill Youth Council to really understand what was happening. I joined a lot of different programs. I talked to the business owners. I wanted to know why my community was the way it was. I wanted to make a change. I wanted to make a positive change in my community. Chris helped me do that. Bill helped me do that. And they helped me matriculate through my high school career, flying colors. I did so well in high school, I went from having a 1.2 to a 3.8, where I was able to go to any college of my choice, and I chose the illustrious Morgan State University. But my life still had to go on and reality still was set. I still had to support my family, even in college. As a broke college student, I had to work 2 jobs. I had to sleep 2 hours a day to make sure that my family was okay. I had to be up to study. I had to make sure that everything was okay at home and in my life. I had Bill to help me with scholarship money. I had Bill to help me talk to people. I had them to help me through my whole matriculation through my undergrad career. Fast forward, I became a better speaker. I was able to transcend my bad skills and harness them into better skills. I was able to talk to politicians, and that's how I got my first big break. During a commencement, I got on stage to have a conversation about Chicago, specifically the West Side, with the Honorable Elijah Cummings. During this conversation, he said, "Man, do you really think we could change these kids on the West Side? Because I'm seeing this a lot of stuff happening, carjackings, crime." I said, "Sir, I'm from the West Side." I said, "I could talk you under the table about anything you want to talk about." He said, "Young man, I need you on my team." And from there, I became his personal assistant. And still throughout my life, even every time I came home, I knew I always had a family, my Bill family. Matriculating through Congress, I had a lot of issues, and I still understood a lot of the small issues that was happening in Chicago, so I knew I had to go back to school. I went back and got an MBA to look at all the financial and economic inclusion issues that's happening in our communities every day. I would have never seen those issues. Had it not been from Bill and had them exposing me to different things, to a better life, to life, honestly. So now, fast forward 13 years, I have the opportunity to work on consumer affairs issues, financial inclusion issues, and small business issues for not just one bank, but I represent the top 44 banks. I was able to go into GR and be an assistant vice president of government affairs of Bank Policy Institute. I don't say that to brag or boast. I don't say that to make anybody think any more highly of me. I'm saying that to the youth that's sitting up there now, that you can do it. You have to live life in abundance. Follow your dreams. Dream big. Because at one point in my life, I think I was going to see the age of 14. Here I am, 27, and able to take care of my family comfortably. So, and, even now in my life, as much as I've came, my mother passed away last year. And then when I was at my darkest moment, I knew I still had family. Here in Chicago, I knew I could still pick up the phone and call anybody at Bill to get what I needed to get. And at this point, I would like to ask all the Bill mentors to stand, Bill staff to stand, Bill donors to stand, Bill board to stand, and I want to applaud you guys. For everything that you've done for me, and everything you've done for the other students at Bill. And you guys are truly the North Star of the West Side. And we love you, we appreciate you, and I pray that I can do as much work or to help you guys get most of these students to the next step like you helped me. Thank you.
Incredible. Thank you, Anthony, and we're so proud of your successes, and what a powerful story. It's what we do at Build.